Hey, Amplify core team. Thought it would be better than me sending a book to you, which I do have a book. I can send you the Excel document for this. But just doing hopefully a quick video to discuss, hey, vision and direction for November 12th. I know Hannah's having some people over, and I'd love to hear feedback and what you guys think. But vision and direction that I'm sort of thinking through as I've met with many of you for November 12th, and then talk about vision and direction for Amplify beyond November 12th. So, hey, I've sent individual text messages to about 35 people that have been to Amplify this year. Would love for you guys and ladies to help reach out, invite, to have some growing excitement and energy for this transition for November 12th amongst your sphere of influence. I can give you names and numbers beyond that if you don't have them. But yeah, hey, let's invite out. Let's have some energy. Let's have some excitement for that. I'm going to have a coffee bar. I'm open to ideas beyond that. But just like, hey, a lot of creamer, some other stuff. I can do cold brew if you think that's good too. Caffeinated and decaf, do some good coffee. And just say, hey, this is just an awesome opportunity to get people out, to get them to connect, to get some people that maybe haven't been around for a while to try things out and be back. I'm also working on a report to find everybody that's been in the church this last year that are this age, that are single, that might want to join in with us. So just sending out a broad invite to say, hey, come join with us. Hey, come be excited with us. We'd love for you to be there. This on November 12th, I'm going to be pressing the new text-in number. There's actually a new number that you need to text, so I can get that out. I'll get some screens out and just throw that on social media. But there's a new text-in number. I actually have already started an Instagram account. It's a small Instagram account, but just using that as a platform to invite people in. And then we'll do Facebook as well. I'll still send out that email as long as it's needed or desired. I want to be doing that. I'd love to have worship this night on November 12th. I don't think we're going to get it, but I will ask. Yeah, I'm not sure that'll be a reality in 2020. I'm still talking with Mark and Tim and Larry and everybody and discussing, hey, what we can get. I just said, hey, we'll do as much as we can if we can throughout the year, if possible. So I still need to talk to the powers that be about that. If you have some musical skills, want to be invested in and developed, I talked to our worship guys today. They're like, yes, we'd love that. Fill out a worship application on the church website. They'd love to develop you and come alongside you in that. And they're very talented guys. So if you have questions about that, reach out to me or fill that out. For the ministry night on November 12th, I know we are going to do sort of a soft reset on this. Hopefully it works out. Hey, if you're able to make it at 6:15, if we can pray then over the ministry night, have the ministry night start at 6:30, and then we get going like 6:40, 6:45 at the latest. I would love to do that. Just starting a little earlier, shifting things a little earlier. Why? The front end time of the ministry night, the social side, it can be awkward for people. If you've been a part of there, if your friends are there, it's not as awkward. But if you're a new person coming into a new group, that front time can seem really long. And so I just want to try that out, try to move it up a little earlier. And then on the back side, after you've had time in group and time talking and everything, when people maybe are a little more socially open, I love to have more time on the back end where, hey, you can stay around or hang around or go out somewhere and you're not feeling pressed up on sort of a late night time hour. So I'd love to do that. I'd love to move it, creep it sooner and sooner to like, hey, actually, when we say 6:30 is our start time, 6:30 becomes our start time for both ministries in January 7th. Like, we're going to have to move that a little earlier for Resonate and a lot earlier for Amplify. I think it'll help. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect or solve anything, but I want to try it out. So hopefully you want to try it out too. Hey, for November 12th, let's have people greeting at the front doors with thermometers, greeting, holding the door, doing temp checks, having some of our core team at the front table checking people in, being warm, welcoming, friendly. Hey, if you are more of an introvert, take task. Like, I will give you opportunities with task. I think that helps if you're introverted, where it's like, hey, I won't just go out and go to another circle of people and start talking to them. But yes, I can stand at a door and take temps and say, hey, welcome to Amplify. So glad you're here. Like, be warm and welcoming while you hold an infrared gun to their head. I know it's not the most warm and welcoming. That's the season we're in, but hey, those opportunities, we'll have those. And then, well as, hey, if you're a little more extroverted or willing to try to be, like, be going to the groups, look for new people, seek them out, and be warm and welcoming and get to know them, inviting them in. Hopefully that'll be good. And then on the front end, hey, we'll give brief announcements. Would love to give some of you the opportunity to do announcements on the front end. Take that on if that's something you want to do. And then we can just communicate that and go with that. And then maybe I'll get up afterwards on a general night and have that. But hey, if that's something of interest to you, let me know, reach out. I'd love to give you guys the opportunity to take on some leadership and some opportunities like that. So for November 12th, I've talked to many of you, but probably giving some sort of charge from like Joshua 1 through 9 or something like that. And we'll talk about sort of the transitioning happening on Jan 7th as the ministry has not been informed, that you've been informed, but just bringing them up to speed on that. And then maybe have some breakout questions for that where you guys can all lead those breakouts. And then take those breakouts, the guys and ladies, even feel free to break them out even further amongst core teams so that you're not all overwhelmed with like, hey, there are like 30 or so people that I have to care for. No, like focus on like 5 or so that you might have and take it on there so we can share that load across that. So like I said, maybe a coffee bar. If you want food or something else, let me know what. I don't want to just buy food or take the time to prep that if everybody's like, I don't really want it. I don't really eat this food, or I think that's not good with COVID or whatever. Let me know if there's something and we can try that. Okay. Let me also see. Sorry, I'm reading through my notes. Yeah, and then maybe we can talk about like ministry nights in general, like, hey, communicating, maybe like the first group of the month, that's the time when we all plan to go out and go somewhere after group. And then the other one, the second one, hey, we plan to stay in and maybe I do a little more for snacks or something, or have something for people to be around. And then just communicate that and let the Holy Spirit lead on those nights. Like, hey, if we're in conversations or something, like, let's just let the Spirit lead. Like if there's a really good discipleship and care and love going on, like be like, hey, we'll see you there, and then head out with who you have. And we'll just go from that there. I know different things can pop up on a ministry night. We want to be sensitive to what God is doing there and be willing to lay down our plans if God is doing something else in a particular situation. Yep. And then for breakout groups, like, hey, have them separate groups. And then that after time on November 12th, have some social time. So that's for November 12th. Beyond that, November 12th, what's going on beyond that? Like, what are we doing? How are we going after this? As I've been meeting and talking with some of you, like these are some of my notes. All these are some of my notes for meeting with you in case you didn't know. And I just sort of tried to summarize them. Let's try to make this ministry something that you would want to be a part of. Whether you're on the leadership team or not, whether it's your first night or you've been in this ministry for years, like let's make it warm, inviting, hospitable, welcome, something that you yourself in any season would want to be a part of. Let's continue to make it warm and inviting. That really, like that feel to a ministry will beget some community and some closeness there, hopefully. But we need to be a part of that. Like if it's not happening on the core team level, it's not going to be happening in the larger ministry. And so we need to be intentional. I don't want any of you to feel like, hey man, I am serving and pouring out my life and my cup is empty. I don't want that. Don't want you to feel that way. I want you to give out of the abundance in your life, an abundance of what God is doing in your life. And out of that abundance, out of that overflow, I want you to joyfully and willingly and excitingly like be serving and being willing to be stretched and grown and serve and developing just a further heart for ministry. I'm right here with you in that. I want to invest in all of you that you can thrive. So help me to know how I can do that best for you, how I can do that best on a core team level. You're not alone in it. I want you encouraged, okay? Luke 10:2 says, and this is Jesus, and he said to them, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore pray earnestly to the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest. Like have that prayer with me. Like let's be looking for the next individual to step up. Who is the Timothy in your life? Who is the next potential leader to step up in this ministry? Let's invest in those individuals. Let's be bringing them up and bringing them on this team that we can spread across the load, that we don't feel so overwhelmed. Like, I think there's a lot of potential to disciple and to develop leaders. And so I want to go after that with you. May we have that same mentality about coming alongside those in this ministry that Jesus has for his disciples. So don't exhaust yourself on the ones that really push against or refuse that, like bumps on a log, like, don't talk to me, I don't want to do that. Like, don't exhaust yourself trying to get them to open up. Be loving, be kind, be like, hey, run with us. We want you to run with us. Let me know when you're ready for that. So have that mentality for them. Don't exhaust yourself on that. But those that really are seeking to grow and want to run with us and want to go after this and have the same heart and vision developing in their lives for this ministry and everything, like, let's come alongside them. Let's invite them on this team. Who are the next ones that we can invite to run with us? So spend your time investing there. Like, have your focus be there. I'm not saying ignore people that, well, this person's ignoring me, or I'm pulling teeth to try to get this person. Like, be warm, be inviting, be loving to that person, and be praying for them, inviting God to move in their lives to prepare them for that. Please hear me on this. I have no intention of this ministry going spiritually light moving forward. In fact, I want to have deeper discipleship in this community, in truly relational community. And it goes way beyond just answering questions to authentic and real community that are challenging and that we're challenging and encouraging one another as we pursue Jesus Christ together. I may be looking for some opportunities, and you may have some ideas of some opportunities to shake things up in hopes that, hey, we're sort of reaching that end from time to time, just to be able to shake things up. The ultimate goal of that is to start some real community that we can have. And that may ultimately fail. It may fail. And we have to be okay saying some things will fail. Like, a lot of things I've tried in the college ministry have failed. And some things I thought would ultimately fail or be small have taken off and grown. And so we have to be willing to dream big and make mistakes and have things not go as well as we thought and be like, hey, well, I guess we're not doing that again. And maybe in the next season in this ministry, they might say, man, we love that. Like, an excellent point. Like, I tried to start doing ultimate frisbee when I took on college ministry. That's what I loved in college. And all are like, no, I just want to go to coffee shops. And then it was, no, I just love spike ball. And now, without me saying or doing anything, they have like 30 people getting together to do ultimate frisbee with the intention of onboarding these people into the church, to hearing about Jesus Christ and the gospel and into the ministry. So it's funny how things can come around circle like that. So let's be willing to try things. You all have the impact group training coming up with Pastor Mike. I hope that's an awesome equipping time. Hope that's an awesome time as a team to be together. As I said, I'm not going to be there, but man, may it be a blessing to all of you. I'm happy to answer questions on any of that, but Mike is the authority, like I said, on that. Man, I want you to be as excited as leaders. I want you to be excited and eager for ministry nights, ready and looking forward to connecting with each other and others in the ministry, again, out of the abundance in your heart and in your life, not feeling like you're just completely drained and empty and you're giving out of nothing, but you're giving out of the fullness of your heart about what God is bringing, about the love and grace and truth that he is pouring into your life. You're like, man, I want to pour that out. I want to give that back. I want that level, that we can have deeper levels of community and discipleship in the broader ministry. So let's be the change that we want to see. Let's invite the Holy Spirit to work in our lives on that vertical level, that the horizontal level might be changed radically and transformed, that God gives us a perspective and eyes to see others the way that he sees them and with the love that he sees them. Okay, pardon me. A few last things. Young adults are huge on mission. Give us tasks, give us direction. Man, I love to consider what it would look like to have a young adult mission trip, whether that's domestically or even locally or internationally. Like, man, missions is my heart. That's what I came into the church doing. I've led a lot of mission trips. I'd love to do something with all of you at some point. I know COVID's thrown that a wrench in that, and that's not ideal right now. But there's huge opportunities to serve together, even within the church. Man, as I look at Amplify, I think there's a tremendous opportunity for those on the older side to invest down into the college students and resonate. I think if, hey, you're mid-20s or younger, man, there's even an opportunity to serve in high school or junior high. And those ministries, all those ministries are desperate for leaders. We're all constantly looking for leaders. And so there's a huge opportunity to not only serve together in community. A lot of our Resonate students, we've sort of pushed in thinking like junior high or even children's ministry is a great fit. For Amplify, I'd say, man, helping out in Resonate or the high school ministry or even junior high. I know some of you serve in junior high, and there's nothing wrong with that, or serving in other areas of worship or production or wherever in the church or greeting. But I think there's tremendous opportunity for you to do that. There's opportunity for you to serve at Amplify. Let's focus there. Let's invest there. But if you're like, man, I want more and I have more time and capacity, man, how can I come alongside you? How can I plug you into that, okay? Would love to hear other ideas to consider and hear other ideas to kickstart real, authentic community at Amplify. Let's go after opportunities that I'd say are high level of success opportunities, like game nights, like some of you mentioned Bunko. Where would the majority of amplifiers connect? Not necessarily you, but where would be a thing that, hey, broader ministry, everybody's going to connect on? Like, die to myself a little. Where would be a broader connect? Like I said, my Resonate team, they're doing Ultimate Frisbee now. It used to be Spike Ball. What is it for Amplify? Would love to talk about weekend retreat or retreats, opportunities, or getaways, if that's of any interest to you, whether that's organized formally or informally, like as opportunities to kickstart community. Believe it or not, we do a 2-night retreat over the summer for Resonate, and most of the Ignite students or high school students, or even those that were in the ministry that summer, like before this, even though I came every Thursday, I didn't feel a part of this community. I spent 2 nights, like even a weekend, on a weekend retreat with all of you, and now I feel a part of this community. Those retreats and opportunities really do connect people in and have them bond in a cool way. So I'm open to that idea. I'm open to any other ideas or socials or connection points, like a Friendsgiving or something else in November, if it makes sense. Like, what do you want to run with? Christmas, one of you brought up like doing even like Christmas songs and hymns around a keyboard or piano. I really like that idea. I think that'd be awesome. Yes, we can do like a white elephant, like we could do Christmas cookie decorating as an opportunity, maybe, depending on COVID and all that. And I'd love for some of these socials, like in a case point, an example like the Christmas party, to have a spiritual focus and an opportunity to really focus on, hey, why are we celebrating this? And have sort of a spiritual opportunity to connect there. I do that with a lot. Like, that's what we do for Friendsgiving for Resonate. That's coming up on the 20th. That's a sweet opportunity to be like, hey, let's go around. Let's talk about why we're thankful and why we can have joyful and thankful hearts, and just taking a moment and focusing. I think that really helps with socials. And we don't do that for all of them. We don't do that for like necessarily New Year's or Super Bowl or whatever. But let's focus on where we can do that and how we can do that. I'm looking into ways we can disciple and care for ladies as well too. I know, hey, just getting me is maybe that's lacking. I'll throw it out. That's lacking. Like, I'm sorry, ladies. Like, I want to look for opportunities and resources and ideas of how we can disciple and care for you better. I'm happy to meet with you here at the church, and Melissa's good with that too. But just want an opportunity for a lady to invest in your life as well. So I'm open to ideas and considering that. Last things, thoughts on New Year's. Anybody willing or eager to host for that, or what you would like to do there? And then January 7th is our start date for, hey, rolling these ministries into one. We can discuss that as it gets closer. I'd love to get free t-shirts with a new ministry logo or name on them to everyone. I have an anonymous donor. I think I told you that will help with that. We'll kick off with worship, maybe another short message and vision focus for that. And then as we get into the spring, like, I'm open to some ideas, like maybe a mini series, like an expository, well-taught message on some topics you're interested in, maybe a study, maybe something else like that. What do you want to go after? What are you excited about? What would shake things up a bit that you think would help a lot with that? Okay, I know that's a lot. I'm about at 20 minutes. Sorry. But do take a look at this video at some point, and we'll talk later. Okay, thanks.